Alrighty. Hi, I'm Storm, and today we're watching some Sonic Boom out of context. I have a special guest with me today, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Hello, I am Dare403 or Dur403, some people say. It doesn't matter to me which one people use. And yeah, I'm here. I'm going to be watching some Sonic Boom out of context
So,
with Storm.
yes, this is the channel that I am watching it on. I will link it in the description just so they get the proper credit for their work. So, normally people just react out of context, but I'm having my friend try and guess what he thinks came beforehand, but I'm also gonna have Der get like a minute before he gives an answer to kind of have his own reaction because let's be honest, some of these are probably gonna have a reaction. And
Mm.
yeah, no, I will pause at the end of each section that is a different clip. I don't remember them all, but if I do remember them, I will tell you what the actual context was for it. I tried catching up on my Sonic Boom, but out of the 6 disc, I only got halfway through two. So,
6 discs, wow.
yeah, the both seasons have like 52 episodes.
Oh my, that's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, no, the honestly the show was very underrated, and it was actually a lot funnier than people give it credit for. But
I imagine.
anyways, shall we?
Let's do it.
Tired, huh? Not me. I slept like a baby last night. No, really. An abandoned crib washed up on the beach.
What? Okay. Okay. You know, I'll admit I've seen clips of this show before, and yeah, that definitely sounds like something Knuckles would say.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so I guess the question now is, what do I think? What do I think led to that? Okay, that is a very interesting question.
Do you need a minute?
Yeah, I'll take a few moments, but that is so bizarre. Um, I mean, wow. I just okay. Knuckles slept like a baby. A crib washed. Did you say a crib washed up on the
Yep.
beach? That what? Why would a crib wash up on the beach? That is such a wild thing. Crib, a whole crib. That is so bizarre. I don't know if I have an explanation for that. But dang.
So do you? I could just tell you if you just want to take the zero and
Just give me a hint. Give me something.
so in the show, Knuckles is a nomad.
Okay, that I didn't know. That is interesting.
Yeah.
So what he's a nomad. So what he just goes from place to place?
Kinda. He chooses where he sleeps that night. There was actually a whole episode about it, and he ended up becoming basically a mythical creature that I know is not in this video because I've seen this video before. Called Muckfoot because he gets covered in mud because he eats berries that make him sleepwalk. But that's not in this episode.
That's incredible.
Yeah, no, there was a whole episode about him being about shenanigans he goes through because
So
he's a nomad.
I guess based off of that, I would imagine maybe he set up a crib at some point to sleep in, maybe near the beach, and then he just moved on from that at some point. The waves like picked up the crib, went out to shore, and then got put back wherever he set up next or later on. I don't know.
Okay, so
I can come up with.
okay, so out of all honesty, we get no context whatsoever on why the crib ended up there. But one of the
Okay.
episodes where one of the characters were like exhausted or really tired from the night before or something they did earlier that day, and they mentioned that they're tired, and that's how he ends up in that whole spiel.
in that whole sorry, which spew, the one we
The-
just watched?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's essentially the context beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still wild. I love it.
Right. All right. I'm gonna bring this back a little bit just because we cut into the part of the other one.
Beach.
Hey,
Alright.
this wall tastes like dirt.
Classic clip. Absolutely classic. You know, that one is almost I'm probably gonna get the context all wrong, but hey, that's the whole point of this video. So I'm gonna say I know Tails is really good with technology, so I'm gonna say he somehow found a way to clone himself. Either he invented something or Dr. Eggman invented something and he found it. I don't know. But
Okay,
he managed to
you
clone
are
himself.
very close.
Now, why the wall tastes like dirt? That's an entirely different question.
It has to do with your idea, but the idea is a little different than cloning.
Multiverse?
No.
Tails? No. Aw.
Do you give up?
What is another explanation for there being multiple tails?
I could give you a hint.
A family of tails.
No.
Aw.
They're all the same person.
They're all the same person at different times?
No.
Ah.
Same time period, all the same person.
Oh, I'm starting to run out of ideas. I say starting as if I actually have any more.
See, this one you're probably gonna, like, you know those commercials where it's like you should have had a V8 and they smack them on the head? That's what you're gonna do to yourself when I tell you the answer. When you give up, mind you.
Okay. So the cloning is the right idea, but just not quite correct.
Yeah, because it's not actually, he doesn't actually clone himself.
No, I got nothing.
Okay, so earlier in the episode, he builds what he calls Dome Apocalypse. Is essentially a dome over the town so Eggman can attack. Eggman barrels under the ground eventually, and Eggman literally says something along it, even an idiot could get through it. Trust me, I did it, or something like that. I don't remember his exact words, but he literally called himself an idiot. But anyways, so Tails is Sonic's like, Tails can't think of everything. He's one person, and the town's taking his trophy of whatever for protecting the town and making it a trophy of shame or something. Anyways, he's like,
Okay.
That's right, I can't think of everything. So he splits himself, and each version of himself only has a percentage of his intelligence.
So he just spontaneously splits?
No, he builds a machine to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, like I said, you were very close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I
no,
meant by you're gonna do that V8 thing.
Oh, that's incredible.
Right? You were so close, but yet so far.
Oh, man.
Ready for the next one?
That's so incredible. Bring it.
Okay. So, yeah, we're right there.
Yep. Yep.
Yup.
Awkward. Awkward.
I know.
Yeah, definitely awkward. Let's see. So, I don't even know whose house that is. I'm going to guess that's Sonic's.
Yep, that's Sonic.
Okay.
Because
so...
you're never gonna guess this one, but I want to hear your theories.
I mean, so Knuckles supposedly burst out of a cake, I presume made out of cardboard, seeing as it didn't like slump all over the place.
You want to know
with
the sad part is?
sparklers.
This is the one I told you like a week ago, and I told you we were gonna forget. That's right, I'm calling you out on YouTube.
Oh no. Yeah. Let's see. No, you're right. I've totally forgotten. Incredible. So I'm just gonna wing it here because, again, that's the point of this video.
Right.
So let's see. He's jumped out of the cake with sparklers. I'm guessing he wasn't really expecting Sonic to be there because, well, that would be. It was awkward. So, he was expecting someone else, something
Let's
else.
be honest, as Knuckles, he was 100% expecting Sonic to be there.
All right. He was apologizing for something. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. It has nothing to do with Sonic or Knuckles.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay then.
That's why I said you're not gonna get this in a million years. It actually has to do with Eggman, believe it or not.
He just wanted to ship himself to Eggman's death egg or what have you. And
Oh,
in
no,
order to try
Knuckles
some
100
Cartoon Horse style.
No, Knuckles 100% ended up at Sonic's house for a reason.
Because
Okay, so this
Eggman
is
shipped him off to
this is a
Sonic's house for some reason.
backflash. This is a backflash. Or
A
flashback.
flashback?
Yeah, why did I say it backwards?
To emphasize the backwards part of the
Apparently.
now you got me saying the flashback.
Yeah.
Clearly. Wow. This is so bizarre.
Yep, especially for a flashback.
A flashback that has technically nothing to do with Sonic or Knuckles.
Yeah. I mean, Sonic starts the flashback, but that's about it.
He's reminiscing about the first time he met. Well, no, it's not the first time he met Sonic. It has nothing to do with Sonic. The first time he met Amy.
Nope.
The first time he met
It's
Tails.
about Eggman.
The first time he met Eggman.
No.
Darn. Wow.
You give up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So what ends up happening beforehand at the beginning of the episode, Eggman is doing some experiment. He pulls off a piece of his mustache, puts it in this machine, and it makes cookies. And what the cookies do is turn whoever eats it into an Eggman. Mustache, it will just be the character with his mustache, his distinct feature. And Sonic sees the cookies and he's about to eat one and he's like, this is better than the last time someone left baked goods on my doorstep, and that's how this starts. Yeah, and
incredible.
Literally later on in the episode, he pulls his own quill out, puts it in the machine, and feeds Eggman a cookie, and since Sonic's distinct feature is being blue, it's just a blue Eggman running around with super speed.
Oh my god.
Trying to stop everyone else that is an Eggman. Amy, Sticks, Knuckles, Tails. And Knuckles is even like, actually, I'm an evil mastermind of average intelligence.
I love it.
Right? Shall we continue?
Absolutely.
I knew TV was just a big conspiracy to control everyone's minds. I'm not talking to you. You keep watching.
I can't be.
I love the classic fourth wall break.
Yeah, so Sticks, I'm going to tell you right now, is one of those giant conspiracy theorists.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing another clip, which maybe we'll get to, I don't know, where she's talking about her breakfast trying to eat her.
Yes, that is.
Like that.
I think that is. She's like, my breakfast is plotting to kill me.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But that clip in particular, I'm guessing Eggman has hijacked the radio waves in order to turn everyone into like zombies who watches TV. Something
Actually,
to that effect.
You're mostly close, but part of it's wrong. You have 95% of it right.
The fact that I'm that close, you know, I'm claiming a victory on that. I don't care if it's not 100%. The fact that I'm even in the ballpark.
Right. If I knew how to put up a scoreboard for you with my current editing software, I have to wait till I update to the new one. But anyways, I would. You would have a single point right now. But do you want me to tell you the rest of it?
Hold on. Let's go for broke here. So I'm gonna guess. I think I got it right with the radio waves. But
Well,
I
you had
suspect
it right with the TV part of it.
Well, I mean, Styx kind of gave that away.
Yeah.
So maybe he hasn't. Maybe it's not the radio waves. Maybe he shipped TVs to people.
No, you had the waves right. You had the TV wave right.
But it's not to turn people into zombies. It's to turn people
No,
into.
the zombies are right. It's just a fact of the watching the TV part, because when this happens, they're not actually watching TV.
In the vicinity of a TV.
Yes, but also not entirely.
They're listening to television.
No. You're so close. You got close with, like, you're right there on the vicinity of the TV, but you're so close.
Oh.
You're like 99% there. It's what they're doing.
It is the turning them into zombies.
Okay, so to turn them into zombies, obviously some sort of hypnosis. You figured that much out already, I'm assuming.
Right.
When is the easiest time to hypnotize somebody?
At night.
When?
They're sleepy, tired.
There you go. He's making it so that his robot named Dreamcaster activates everyone's TV from a TV station and starts talking about like sugar plums and all that to hypnotize them into like mindless zombies.
Okay.
And he gets everyone except for Styx, so even Sonic, Amy, Knuckles, and Tails. And the only reason why Styx is in it, because she's a conspiracy theorist and she doesn't have a TV. Eggman's even like, what do you do on Sunday nights?
Come up with more conspiracy theories. What else?
Right? Like, honestly, it's freaking ridiculous. But yeah, no, you basically had it the first time.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, so chalk 1 point up for you.
Nice.
Shall we go on to the next one?
The happy is the only point I get.
Right.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Keep watching.
I can't be swimming around with a bunch of 5-year-olds. They can be so cruel when they sense weakness. That's
Oh, well.
why on the first day, you have to beat up the biggest one in the yard.
Knuckles, that's prison.
Only if you let it be.
That's good. Let's see. I'm guessing Sonic is trying to get over his fear of water, which is why he's taking swimming lessons.
You are really close.
And okay.
You have his part of it 100% accurate, but you just don't have the part of why they're talking about it.
Okay. Why are they talking about it? Because because Sonic stopped going to swimming lessons.
No. Well, yes, but no.
Yes, but no. I guess
we already knew he stopped going because of this whole conversation, but
right.
Why are they having the conversation? Come on, this one should be very obvious. It's a Sonic show.
Because Dr. Eggman has come up with a plot that requires Sonic to go swimming to stop it or something?
Yes. So he
he's
builds
firing missiles from an underwater base.
Okay, I was just about to tell you, but you decided to derail your whole thing.
Oh darn!
So if you would have just stayed quiet, I would have gave you a point for it. But no, you had to keep going. I was about to say he actually made a way or a machine to cause like a tidal wave or tsunami, whatever you want to call it, to flood the village. And because Sonic's afraid of water, he keeps procrastinating it. And they're like, you don't know how to swim yet, and that's
That's good.
I was going to give you the point, then you're like, underwater missiles. I'm like, oh no, you ruined it.
to take a guess. Come on.
Yeah, I know. It's just you almost had to do it if you just want to stop talking for 5 seconds. Also, I like how this is a 17-minute long video. We're at 45 seconds and we're already 20 minutes into ours.
Yeah, I mean,
We might have to cut this into multiple parts.
would that be the worst thing in the world?
Not really. Shall we continue?
Absolutely.
If you let it be.
You got a lot of nerve for somebody who lives in my basement.
He's pretend.
That's so off the cuff. Let's see. That looks kind of like a frog person.
They're called
Maybe like a
troglodytes.
shaman. Troglodytes. That. You know what? I'm a huge fan of puns, so I love that. Let's see. He's a conspiracy theorist. I'm gonna guess that she believes these troglodytes have been what's the word?
Mind you,
Hired
they
by-
do live in her basement.
You know what? I gathered that. I didn't think she was being sarcastic when she said for someone who lives in my basement. But I'm gonna guess that she thinks that they were hired by Eggman. I can't remember the proper word, but I'm gonna say recruited by Eggman to attack her and Sonic in the village.
No.
It's
Not
probably
even
entirely
close.
wrong.
Um,
She thinks that he's trying to kill her in her sleep.
no.
Darn.
I'll give you a hint, and this probably won't help much, but Amy essentially forced a yard sale of all of her stuff.
Of Amy stuff or
No, of Styx's.
of Styx? She forced a yard sale.
Yeah,
of
because she
Styx's
thinks
stuff.
Styx is a pack rat. Or, to some people, hoarders.
This is gonna sound so terrible. does she think that the Froglodyte was part of the yard sale and should have been
No.
sold off?
No.
Like that sounds so terrible. This is like that's the first thing that came to mind. It's like because I have to defend myself here now because the internet's gonna be like, what do you mean that this is like Froglodyte trafficking or something? No. Selling off living beings. How dare you even suggest such a thing?
Right?
Like,
I mean, she is a conspiracy theory, so that one's kind of a tricky one. I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, shame on you. I'm sorry, I had to pick on you
I'm
there.
canceled now.
Yeah, get off my channel. Do you have any other suggestions?
Let's see. She thinks that the Froglodyte convinced Amy to sell her stuff.
No.
Darn.
She's. I'm gonna give you another one. She's known the Froglodytes have been there forever, and basically all but one of them are actually evil.
Wow. Admittedly, that didn't really give me any new ideas.
I know, that was kind of the point.
Wonderful.
My objective is not to help you. My objective is to get funny ass answers out of you. Why'd you expect me to help you?
I mean, hints are usually helpful, but okay.
I never said it was a hint. I said I was gonna let you know. Well, maybe I did say it was a hint. I can't
that's
remember.
fair. You did not explicitly use the word hint. That I'll give you that. Troglodytes are, for the most part, evil. She's known about them the whole time, or at least the fact that they live in her basement. She's just confronting a Froglodyte because why not?
No.
Darn.
Do you give up?
Sure.
So because Amy forced this yard sale on sticks, there was a surfboard on the door leading to the Froglodytes cave made of the strongest wood in the forest so that they couldn't get out. And Amy grabs the surfboard off the door, and all these Froglodytes come out and kidnap Sticks and offers her up as a sacrifice to their lord. And yeah.
I would never have gotten that in a million years.
Yeah. Eggman keeps trying to steal a comic in the yard sale and gets caught by Sonic every time.
All...
And then when he
Or a
finally
comic.
gives up and buys the damn thing, because of one of his Explodo nuts, it blows up in his face and destroys the comic he just paid for.
Oh, no.
I know, right? There's even a
You
part
know-
where you see Knuckles and Tails lifting a sofa, and Knuckles is lifting it just fine, dragging the sofa with Tails, and Eggman and Sonic are just watching.
You know, I know Eggman is supposed to be like the arch nemesis villain type guy. Sometimes you kind of have to wonder if maybe there's a reason why he became a villain.
Actually, in the show, he says, going to villain school or something like that to impress his father or something. So he was born in this world, unlike other variants of Sonic where he was sent there from a different timeline or whatnot. I don't know how it works in the actual Sonic games, but in Sonic X, he was actually born in our world, sent to Mobius, which is their world, which is technically a future version of Earth. It's a long story. Anyways, yeah, and that's how he ended up there. But in this one, it seems he was actually born there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
You only know because he mentions his father. Shall we continue?
Yeah, of course.
He's pretending to be Sonic again.
Well, I'm not gonna be Amy this time.
Beat it.
Oh no, please no. No, I'm with him. Please, if he's pretending to be Sonic, I am no way would I want to be Amy. Are you kidding? It would either be a bunch of smooching or a bunch of running away, and I'm not sure which one would be worse, but they're both really bad. What is the context for that? There are so many.
Obviously, you could tell that
come to mind.
Eggman's apparently been pretending to be Sonic, but
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead right now. This one's actually a hint. It has nothing to do with Eggman pretending to be Sonic. Eggman is in the picture, don't get me wrong, but it has nothing to do with him for pretending to be Sonic. But Eggman may be in the picture, but so is Sonic in this case, even though Sonic is not there.
Oh my. Let's see. Something has swapped their minds, and Eggman thinks he's Sonic, and Sonic thinks he's Eggman.
Okay, you're right, but it's not because they think they are the other person. They actually
Sorry,
are.
yeah, I have to be. Yeah, I should be clear. When I say swap minds, I mean like Sonic's mind is in Eggman's body, and Eggman's mind is in Sonic's body.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. The hint probably was too easy. But, yeah, no, that's exactly what happens, and Sonic's trying to prove to them that he's Sonic by pretending to run trying to run really fast, and he ends up making himself exhausted and out of air really quickly.
Yeah, because his abilities are in his body, not his mind.
Yeah, and, yeah, and he's like, what is this feeling in my lungs? Because he's not used to running out of energy or breath, right? Because he's
Right.
used to going, well, faster than the speed of
Yeah.
light just for fun.
Right.
So yeah, I fucking love Orbot and Cubot in this show. They're fantastic. But
Incredible.
yeah, let's continue.
Feed it a chili
All right.
dog. Everyone loves chili dogs.
I don't think he can eat solid food.
Well, then put it in the blender. Well, if you say so. The chili dog, not the baby. Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
I love how the baby immediately stops crying as soon as Knuckles stops trying to put him in the blender.
Right?
Which, what a sentence.
Right?
uh,
Bet
I
you weren't
have
expecting that.
you know what? No. Well, I mean, yeah, I've seen the clip before, but it still gets me. Let's see. I mean, some of the context seems rather clear that they're trying to feed the baby. They're trying to figure out
Yes.
what to feed the baby, and Sonic's suggesting they feed him a chili dog because who doesn't like chili dogs?
Okay,
But-
you're right, but I want you to try and guess the context on how they ended up with a baby, because
Yeah, I was gonna get there
Oh,
because,
okay.
like I said, some of it is obvious. The next step is where did the baby come from? which-
you're probably not gonna guess this. I can guarantee.
You know what? I'm gonna go for the absolutely wildest, craziest.
Oh god,
answer I
this
can
I
think
gotta
of.
hear. Because the last one we did, I could hear the gears turn in your head. So now that you're going for wildest, craziest, I gotta hear this.
I'm kind of embarrassed to even suggest it because it's very like melodrama. Okay, I apologize in advance. My first thought went to Sonic and Eggman had a child. I don't know why my brain went there, but that's where it went.
Okay, do you want me to tell you the actual answer, or do you want to make another guess?
He is somebody else's child that they're off on vacation or something, and they've tasked Sonic and Knuckles and the gang with looking after the child.
The first part you got right. They're
Okay,
not
so
off on
somebody else's
vacation.
child. Okay. They were kidnapped by Dr.
No.
Eggman. They vanished from existence.
No.
They.
Although in the very second episode, they almost, or was it the second episode? One of the episodes on disc one of the first season, Eggman and Dave the intern almost destroy existence as they know it. But they, no, your answer is no.
Eggman, okay, that's even more. Eggman and Dave the intern.
Yeah, they both activated Doomsday devices, and Sonic goes in, is like, "Shut off the Doomsday device." And Eggman's like, "Who puts an off switch on a Doomsday device?" And then Sonic's like, he's like, "That's fair." And then he pages Tails, he's like, "There's no off switch." And Tails is like, "Duh, who puts an off switch on a Doomsday device?"
I love it.
So
love
they
it.
had to make their energies not match, but have completely different wavelengths so that they intercepted each other and canceled it out. And they failed, and Tails luckily invented a reverse polarizer, so they throw it into a black hole and destroy it.
Crazy, wild. I love it.
Right?
What happened to this child's
The only reason I
parents?
went into that because I know that's not in this video.
Okay. Oh.
I know, right?
What so many ideas. Like I've had so many ideas, and none of them are right.
Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Sure.
So Knuckles is driving his vehicle, and he figured for safety to put wheels on top and the bottom, which makes sense, whatever.
That's
but
why
the
not.
The top one's actually, you have to turn the opposite direction. He learned that during a race, but anyways. So he's driving it normally, and he decides to use the oven in his truck to make a pizza, and he grabs a slice of pizza, and it ends up burning him, and he accidentally runs into this child's mother, and she's hospitalized, and they offer to take care of the kid because they hospitalized her. They even make a comment later on why she trusts them with the baby after hospitalizing her.
Wild. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I would ever have come up with that.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I
my
told you
God.
you wouldn't have guessed it in a million years.
And then, of course, they Knuckles decides let's blend the kid.
Alright, let's move on.
Oh boy. Well, that was the shortest clip ever.
Yeah, no, it's hard to, like, literally, there we go. He cuts off his mustache.
his iconic. Oh my gosh! What
Yeah.
a big. I know it looks like a small change, but that is such a big change.
I know. Considering normally he absolutely hates it when something happens to his mustache.
This wouldn't happen to be the whole precursor to the cookie thing, would it?
No.
Okay.
No, because he literally pulls a singular hair in that one.
Oh, okay. He wants to change his look because it's getting old and tiresome.
No.
He wants to change his look because he wants to blend
It
in. He
has
doesn't want
nothing
to be
to do
known.
with his look.
Darn. He thinks he's somebody else, or somebody else is in his body again.
No.
Darn.
While you're continuing to guess, I'm grabbing a pop from my fridge.
Alright. Let's see. He wants to clone himself, but he needs his DNA. But then why would he cut off a whole strand of his hair? Like
Yeah,
a whole
no.
swatch. Who?
I'm gonna tell you part of it.
Okay.
Or sorry, Cubot tells Eggman he should really be eating healthier, and Eggman's like, it doesn't matter, watch, and cuts off his mustache.
He cuts off his mustache to prove that it will just regrow moments later.
No.
He cuts off his mustache to prove that it won't actually grow back because he's got hair loss.
No.
He cuts off his mustache because why would it not matter about eating healthier?
It is so interesting seeing you come up with all these ridiculous reasons.
Loki feel like a detective being like watching something being like, why would you cut off your own hair, your own mustache?
Right?
I know
Especially the
it's like
feature
a
that defines you to the point where...
children's-ish quote unquote show. I say quote unquote because like obviously there will be many age groups that enjoy this.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
Sonic.
wanna, like,
Everyone
alienate
loves
any of them.
Sonic.
Exactly. Why would cutting off his mustache prove that it doesn't matter if he eats healthy or not? Because he's going to eat his hair.
No.
Because.
You still only have
Wow.
1 point in this entire thing.
Yeah, like I said, if that's the only point I get, I will be happy.
Do you give
because
up, or...
I can't think of anything else. Any other reason?
So he goes to attack Sonic and them while they're on the beach watching a movie, and he shoots a super weapon, which is supposed to trap Sonic. Amy hits it back at him, so he shoots a super duper weapon, and at the same time they hit, a lightning bolts and ends up causing a time loop.
Okay, wait, how does that... Wait, what? But then why would he cut off his hair then, his mustache?
Because the time loop keeps making the same day repeat over and over again, and he can't figure out why. And when Cubot tells him that he should eat healthier, he's pointing out that it doesn't matter because tomorrow's just going to end up being the same day.
Okay, I guess, okay.
He literally
Tomorrow
ends up
he'll still have a full mustache. Okay.
No, because when the day resets, his mustache is back to normal, because it literally resets to that morning.
Okay.
So much time
Interesting.
goes off, the explosion reoccurs and puts him back to the morning.
That's great.
Yeah. No, so that's why he cuts it off. He even wipes off the part of the board with his mustache. Yeah, no.
That's great.
Yeah, no, that's how that... Again, context is a lot for this show.
Also, can we talk about the fact that, like, if we go back on his board, because I'm a bit of a math nerd, 4 minus 6 equals -2, so -2 equals 2? What? What in what universe? Excuse.
Yeah, I know,
Excuse me?
right?
Also, we have is that 2 equals 12 in this also circled? Like, what?
I have no. Oh, there. I have no
Yeah.
idea what that is. So your guess is as
Like,
good as
I
mine.
mean, if that's the kind of math he's doing, I can understand how Sonic keeps spoiling him.
Yeah,
Like,
you also
not,
gotta
like-
remember he's a genius at build like machines and everything. In this show, he actually has his own like industry called Eggman Industries.
Okay.
So he's not getting his money from stealing or anything. It's from a legitimate business. Also, in this universe, criminals are considered a job, sort of say, because there was even an episode where the mayor outlawed any criminal activity unless they got a villainy permit. Yeah,
The villainy permit. Oh, I love it.
yeah, and, yeah. It was a whole episode, but yeah, no, villainy is considered a career. So you don't just go to jail if you're a criminal. I mean, you can, but there are specific things that, yeah, there's even a course to become a villain, like a college that you can graduate from.
I love it. Could you imagine if he'd cut off his mustache to prove the point that it's a time loop, and then figured out what the time loop was, and then he just has half a mustache in the future?
Right? No.
Oops, my bad. I guess half my
Well, see,
mustache
here's
is
the
gone
thing.
now.
Tails figures out what caused the time loop, but then the time loop resets everything, so he has to get Tails to figure it out again in the same day.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I suppose it's feasible. If Tails can figure it out in one day before, maybe with extra information, Tails can figure it out faster.
Well, he it takes him a couple of days, but he finds a way to get Tails to his lair by getting the movie that they're gonna watch that day anyways, and be like, how about you come to my lair, watch a movie, and maybe crunch some numbers with me? Because Tails doesn't believe in the time loop,
Well, of course not.
right?
Because Tails is not part of the time loop.
No. Well, he doesn't believe there's any such thing as a time loop, and Eggman's like, neither did I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But let's continue, because the next clip is short as well.
Alright. I'm sorry. First of all, I presume that's Dave the intern.
Yes.
Um, pointing some sort of gun at a burger.
Yes.
The very evil must be destroyed immediately burger.
No. He's not trying to destroy it.
It's a condiment gun. He's putting condiments on the burger.
He's putting something on the burger, but it's not a condiment.
Sesame seeds.
There you go. So
Okay.
earlier in the episode, you have 2 points now. Earlier in the episode, he actually shoots seeds because Tails accidentally destroys the entire orchard, and Styx makes them replant the entire thing. And Dave sticks the seeds in there and plants it for him with this gun, which ends up sprouting up evil plants, so Tails has to replant the orchard again later.
Oh no.
Yeah, and now he's using it to put sesame seeds on his burger. He even takes a bite out of it later.
Nice.
Right?
Try this video game. You run, roll, and collect rings as fast as you can.
Ah, that sounds terrible.
We pretty much
Another wonderful fourth wall break. What would be the context for that?
Okay, so the context for this is kind of wonky, so all I want you to do is guess why they're there.
Why they're there? Why Cubot and I'm sorry, what's the other one?
Orbot. Literally
Orbot, that
based
makes
off
sense.
their shapes.
Yep.
Orbot's the smart one, Cubot's less
cubicle one.
intelligent. Yes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the smart one and the not so smart one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. Why are they there? Because Eggman fired them, and they have. And
Okay, you're close. It does have to do with Eggman, but he didn't fire them.
He sent them there to spy on.
No,
the
Eggman didn't do
Beaver.
anything to them. Well, sorry, he
Um,
did, but he didn't order them to do anything, and he didn't fire them.
They
Think about
realize he
Eggman's
mistreats-
personality.
They realize Eggman mistreats them so badly, so they decided to join up with the other group.
Yes, but it's because Eggman got a new friend that's actually evil. Well, of course he's evil. He's Eggman's friend, but he's trying to take over his lair. They leave because Eggman's ignoring them and neglecting them. They find out that this guy's taking over their lair because Tails' computer goes off for some reason while they're fighting to play the game they just called Terrible.
This is a game about running around and collecting rings.
Yeah. Where you run, roll, and collect rings. Yeah, so they go to warn Eggman, and yeah, Eggman doesn't believe them until the guy ends up shooting Eggman's lasers. We're only a
That's
minute and 15 seconds into this video.
There are a lot of possibility, let me tell you.
I'm glad I'm using the Opera, whatever the browser's called, the gaming browser, because even if I stop the video right here and just close down the browser, the video will always load from this point. So if we can't get through
Nice.
all of it tonight, we will be able to do it eventually. But that's where we're going to call it for this video. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!
Bye, everyone.